For over 200 years, the area of New York State known as the Catskills has been considered the cradle of civilization for fly fishing in the Americas. The area has enjoyed a front row seat as to the evolution and the history of the sport of fly fishing. That would also include fly tying. Hi, I'm Al Dare with Mickey's Bait and Tackle. The third annual Tie One On, sponsored by the local Iroquois chapter of Trout Unlimited, was host to a multitude of professional tyers as well as hobby tyers. Everything from the simplest wet fly pattern to the most intricate natural imitation of an insect was represented. The interesting thing was that how all this tied in, pun intended, to the other organizations that were represented there who are interested in conservation and social issues. Organizations such as Casting for Recovery, Project Healing Waters, Hope on the Rise, the New York State Trout Unlimited Women's Initiative. I guess when you think about it, the art of fly tying is all about the natural world, and when we immerse ourselves in nature, only good things can really come about. So if you're a fly tyer or just a lover of nature, check out what we have to offer these next few minutes. And remember to support Trout Unlimited. They're all about the cool, clean water that surrounds us. And I guess what's good for the trout is also happens to be good for the planet. Take care now.
Yeah, as long as you have a lever.
Pardon me?
As long as you have a lever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Vicki Lane. I am on the Women's Initiative Committee for the New York State Council chapter of Trout Unlimited, and we are just trying to promote fly fishing and the conservation aspects of Trout Unlimited to women, to get more women involved with the sport and to get more women involved just in awareness of cold water fishery conservation. They don't have to be fisher people. We do offer some seminars where we teach women the basics of fly fishing with entomology and casting, and we actually get out fishing one of the days of the two-day seminars that we do. Lindsay does a seminar teaching women introduction to fly fishing up on the Salmon River. I do one here in central New York on the 9 Mile Creek, and our other committee member Jan Opel does one up on the Saranac River. So we have northern section of New York State, the central and western New York sections of New York pretty well covered with her. We also are having a presence here today to also get the word out about women joining Trout Unlimited. So we have a special free membership for new female members, and it's just a way to sort of get women involved with the sport of fly fishing, or just involved with the conservation aspects, as I mentioned before. And so with the year membership, they get, of course, the Trout magazine, and we let them know about different events that we're doing, whether they're fishing outings or conservation projects or things like this fly tying event. So that's one of the other things that we do, is to, once we have the women signed up or involved through our seminars, is to keep them involved in the different things that are happening after our seminars. And,
It might be a little early. There's another little creek out way to somewhere called Salmon Creek, and it's just a little. Just go ahead.
Hi, we're here today at the Trout Unlimited Taiwan On, and I happen to have the pleasure of sitting with Kelly Gallup, who is the streamer guy. And I got to tell you, most people these days, still to this day, are shy to fish with streamers, and I don't know why that is. Because they are certainly responsible for catching the biggest trout. What do you think about that, Kelly?
Why? I think it's just hard to break tradition. It's definitely, like when I first wrote Modern Streamers, I had a little analogy in there where people would say nothing was happening, so I threw on a streamer, and then they always finish it with, I got the biggest fish of my life, and then it's like it's the redheaded stepchild. They never fish it again. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
It's yeah, and I started out as a dry fly guy. I grew up with the Swisher Richards era, and I mean my first 20-some national patterns are all dry flies. Nobody even knows it, and it's all about streamers. I got tired of not being able to catch those big fish. It's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And so just started doing it.
And I think they're getting more and more their fair share of what they're all about these days.
Big time. You got, especially your young anglers are really coming into it. One of the really cool things about having wrote that book was that, you get hundreds, now with the email, you get tens of thousands of them, but I used to get hundreds of letters. And they're, mostly young guys and stuff. But every once in a while I get a guy who's 70 years old, and he'd write me a letter and he'd say, I'd had it, I'd given up, and I got into fishing streamers, and I feel like I'm 18 again. It's pretty cool,
It's cool.
And it's just a different way to doing the same thing. And it's fun.
There's nothing like swinging a streamer and having a big fish come after it.
Yeah,
I don't care what you say. I mean, it's fun to see a dry fly get sucked under the surface or getting a hit on a nymph, but streamer fishing, having that rod practically jerked out of your hand.
Yeah, I mean, I tell everybody, it'll change you. The first, 28-inch fish you see to fly, life changes, and it happens in a hurry.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're catching them the way you want to catch them too, Yeah, you might be able to catch more fish if you match the hatch, but that may not be what it's all about. It's more about the quality of the experience, for sure.
Yeah, it's for sure. I mean, the bottom line is fish are fish. It doesn't matter where you are, what continent you're in, they're fish. And we've had this analogy for decades that fish eat 5% of the time on the surface, and that's not true. It's not even a fraction of the time. And they're always down there looking.
Especially the big guys. They want big meals.
Yeah, a 2-foot or bigger fish didn't get that big. He might have got up to a certain point eating bugs, and it's time to eat, meat after that. So. Hold on, he's doing an interview. I'll get just a second. That's all right. That makes for good film.
That's right. Yeah, I like that rabbit. Is that a bunny leech?
Huh?
Yeah?
It's a different.
It's a snowflake sculpin.
Okay.
I've got one right here somewhere.
Yeah. So you do a lot of work with, it seems like, hair and marabou.
Yeah. For me, material is everything. A lot of trend right now is going into the really big, big flies, but people are forgetting they got to swim. And I'm pretty big into wavelength, and there's the whole predatory-prey relationship is about, it's not only visual, it's awful a sound wave. And you've got to have that flutter. So there's nothing that duplicates marabou or feather, on the planet. I don't know, we're going to get a synthetic that's good someday, but for me personally, it's pretty much, a lot of these there'll be synthetics blended into them, like this one, synthetic eye, marabou tail, there's synthetics in between it, but I'm still kind of I'm still sold on natural fiber.
Me too. Yeah,
for
Mother
sure.
Nature, let's face it, come on. Like peacock pearl, that's one of the foundations. Marabou is one of the foundations.
Yep,
Pheasant
for
tail is
sure.
one of the foundations. You
For
can't-
sure.
You want anything to eat?
What do you got?
Whatever, I'll get you a menu. I'll let you know when we finish this. I threw it out. Sorry.
Introduce yourself first.
My name is Mike Balla,
I'm Paul Weimer.
and we're here enjoying this wonderful event, supporting the Iroquois chapter of Trout Unlimited. Supports a lot of good causes here with the venue, and it's a lot of raffles, and there's a dinner tonight, and a lot of fly tires around the room, and book authors, and fly tie material vendors and reel salesmen, just about everything you'd want.
Here to support TU and all the great work that they do across the United States, and happy to get out of the house a little bit. It's been a very long, cold winter, although I'm living in central Pennsylvania now, and once I got to a line between Scranton and Binghamton, I think the temperature dropped about 15 degrees and suddenly there was snow again. So, but it's great, springtime's coming, trout fishing will be here soon.
Yeah, it's a great break from cabin fever. I'm up from Saratoga Springs area, north of Albany, and it's absolutely still winter there. My yard's covered with snow. The mountains are full of snow. The streams are frozen. But it wasn't a better thing to do in the winter anyway, but I can't think of a better occasion to use that time for.
For sure. It's amazing how many people that can bring here just great tires, some of the best tires in the United States, like Mike said, and the Dette Fly Shop, the oldest family-owned fly shop in the United States. So it's great to be here and to be a part of all of that.
There's definitely a lot of history. What I like about you guys is you're down-home northeastern boys, and you write a lot about the Catskills and the home waters that a lot of these anglers have grown up on and are most interested in. It's an amazing accomplishment. Some of the books that you have written, Mike, all your book on the Delaware, unbelievable.
Thank you.
So we're so happy to have you here today.
Well, we're trying to keep the story alive.
For sure.
And, these guys here are big fans of the event, you can tell. But the story is still there. A lot of contemporary fly fishermen are getting involved that maybe don't know the rich history that we have. In central New York, Pennsylvania, there's a lot of it here. Fly fishing really started in Pennsylvania and in the Catskills, and that's where it started. And that's why we're both very proud of what we represent.
It's like the Holy Land, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is Mecca.
Yeah.
And look at all the wonderful books that came out of Pennsylvania and magazine articles, and Paul's book on a lot of the hatches in the area, and his books on the Delaware. It's just, I guess we're carrying the banner for keeping this area alive and its history, and even in contemporary times, how to have a lot of fun here.
And it's important, fly tires, by their very nature, by our very nature, we always feel like we want to reinvent everything, and it's one of the cool things that Mike does too, is showing people what existed before. So, we're lucky to live in this day and age where you have a platform of people that have come before you, and you can help build on that and further that. You see all these young tires here that someday down the line people will probably be like Mike, writing books about guys like them. So it's the New York, Pennsylvania tradition is continuing to grow and evolve over time, which is pretty cool too.
That's
My name is Dan Morgan. I'm with Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing. I'm the National Director of Communications and Online Marketing for the organization, as well as a program leader for the Syracuse, New York chapter. Project Healing Waters is dedicated to the physical and emotional rehabilitation of disabled active military service personnel and veterans through fly fishing, fly tying, education, and related activities. We've been around since 2005 when we were founded at Walter Reed Army Medical Center down in Maryland. Since that time, Project Healing Waters has expanded to encompass over 160 programs nationwide, including the program here in Syracuse, New York. All of them are based at VA facilities, military bases, or military hospitals. This event really highlights the great partnership between Trout Unlimited and Project Healing Waters. Of those 160 plus programs, 70 of them are sponsored by local Trout Unlimited chapters, such as the Iroquois chapter, who is hosting this event. So it's a privilege and pleasure to be here.
And that was totally unrehearsed.
I'm Eric Stanzik. I am the superintendent of Carpenters Brook Fish Hatchery, which is a Onondaga County park. We're located in Elbridge, New York, right off of Route 321, about 10 minutes east of Auburn, about 15 minutes west of Syracuse. So we're centrally located in the county. We're a county-run facility. We've been in operation since 1938. we stock between 75 and 85,000 brook brown and rainbow trout each year in Onondaga County alone. We manage and maintain over 100 miles of trout streams. We stock 10 different lakes and ponds, all of this in Onondaga County. We get no subsidizing from the state, so none of the money that goes from your fishing license or your hunting licenses goes to Carpenter's Brook. We're a county-run facility, so only county tax dollars pay to keep that open. Once again, been there since 1938 in operation, so since 1938 we've stocked quite a few fish in the local waters. We are fortunate that we are one of the only county-run facilities in the state, so the county and the community rallies behind us and keeps us open year after year. There have been a few lean times, so we're fortunate that the county executive has chosen to keep our place open. The community and the residents of Onondaga County have chosen to keep us open. Stock between 75 and 80,000 brook brown and rainbow trout each year in Onondaga County, and about 21 to 22,000 of those are 2-year-old fish, which will be 12 to 15 inches long. The 9 surrounding counties around Onondaga County share 13,000 2-year-old fish that the state of New York stocks around the county. So if you do the math, your chances of catching a 12 to 15 inch 2-year-old are a lot higher in Onondaga County than the 9 surrounding counties if you did the math in that direction. We're very fortunate too that we have a very personal relationship with local members of Trout Unlimited and the volunteers, because without the volunteers, whether they're Trout Unlimited or just the average residents of Onondaga County, our relationship is really good with them because we need them to stock the streams. We would not be able to exist without that volunteer base. Trout Unlimited has always been instrumental in helping us with any of the projects that we've done, and that's not just talking about the hatchery themselves, which they are very, very instrumental in helping with that, but they are also very instrumental in helping with stream improvements and making sure that the streams that we're stocking are still being maintained and still healthy to support trout.
I'm Jim Froyo, board member of Iroquois chapter of TU and chairman of Taiwan.
And I'm David Seifritz, chapter president, Iroquois chapter, Trout Unlimited.
All right, let's talk a little bit about today's event. It's really looking quite the event. We've taken some shots around and seen all the people here, interviewed a few authors. This is really quite the undertaking, gentlemen.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it came about 3 years ago. You know, we started out with a little group just trying to get some fly tyers together. I think the first year we had 23 guys. Last year we had probably about 65 or so tires, or 65 people and the tires. And then this year it's just, it really has gotten that much better. You know, with all Jimmy's hard work of bringing a bunch of the fly tires in, our relationship with all these guys that we've met over the years, you know, with the tires at all the shows that we've gone through, Jimmy Facebooking all these guys and talking to them all the time on his smartphone. But it really, these guys are like brothers to us, some best friends. We've fished with them, we've had plenty of dinners with them, and you know, I can't thank them enough, or the vendors, for everybody that's come and helped out. You know, Jimmy?
Especially Joe Fox from Dette Trout Flyers, stepped up pretty big for this event, co-sponsor, oldest fly shop in the Catskills. I mean, bringing Kelly Gallup in, Paul Weimer, Mike Vela, tires from New Jersey. We had people coming in from Pittsburgh for this show. So all around, pretty pleased with the whole event.
You know, I love the fact, too, that you brought in all these conservation organizations, and Trout Unlimited being a conservation organization in the first place. So, you know, you can't say enough about the county parks, the fish hatchery.
Yeah, those fellow organizations are what we consider this our opportunity to, teach people not just Trout Unlimited is what about, but all of the other organizations that we've involved in this. They're like our brothers. We're all in this together for the improvement of the water quality, the fishing, things to do. The parks have been great. Hatchery helps us out all year long with letting us do our events there. So we can't thank them enough for bringing what they brought today to the show. Really do have to say, thank you. Those guys, it's just
Well, and also, look, we're doing this for Project Healing Waters, which to me is probably one of the most, I don't know how to put the words, organizations that just does everything for veterans, trying to bring them back, teaching them how to fish. These guys put their life on the line for our country, and we couldn't think of doing anything better to help those people than what we're doing today.
Without a doubt,
I wish we could do more. Casting for Recovery, Hope on the Rise, all worthy organizations that, we need to help.
They would say the same thing about you guys too, especially the fact that you provide so many volunteers for the area trout streams and helping the hatchery bring those up to where they should be. So
Yeah, that's true. And I feel that, we'd all give, our right arm for each other to make it that much better for here in Central New York and all over the state and, hopefully beyond that point. So.
And also we got to give a shout out to Anthony Hyatt for the artwork, Peter Thompson for the artwork, Steve Brennan for and the whole committee for all the work they've done with it. This was a long time planning event and we're looking forward to next year.
It's a collaborative effort for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, gentlemen.
Women's basketball, not men's. We got all girls, and but anyway, when we went to this thing, we're rolling.
Hi, I'm Mike Kelly. Probably you know me best as J. Michael Kelly. I used to write for the Post Standard about the outdoors, and now I'm a book author. So I'm here at the Trout Unlimited Taiwan event to sell some books, of course. But I'm also here to commiserate with my friends on what a lousy winter we've been having fishing wise, and hoping for spring to get here for real. It's supposed to be spring now. We're not quite there that I can tell, but we're hoping. And anyways, the attendance has been very good. A lot of people tying flies, but most people I think came here just to see their old friends and maybe make some plans for going fishing the first day of trout season or later on in the year, and just a good outing for everybody. And the best part is it gets done in plenty of time for us to get home to make the Syracuse game on TV, so couldn't be much better. Some nonprofit groups here I notice, some organizations besides Trout Unlimited are represented. And of course, we got some top-notch fly tyers and purveyors of fly tying materials here, and a lot of people will be, I'm sure, bringing home stuff they don't have a place to put it, like I do with my fly tying things. But just a good time for everybody, and glad I got invited. And I have sold a couple books.
Really looking forward to the next one, Mike, the trout stream one. I was getting excited about that.
Just so many.
That's been done before.
As you bring it upward, you let go, and it turns.
Oh, okay.
And you.
Oh, wow.
You go around.
That's really cool.
On a dry fly, you probably do about 5 times max. On a wet fly like this or streamer, you can do it as many times as you want to. They're going to break this down.
Once you learn the basics, a couple of basic things.
Are we supposed to be tying something, or
You don't have to. No, we're just going to talk.
Oh, I'm first? Oh, hi, I'm Peter Thompson.
Anthony Hyatt. We're here at Taiwan 2014, Barbagallos Restaurant.
Beautiful East Syracuse, New York. Great food, really is. And this is our 3rd year, right?
3rd year.
As Taiwan I think we've hit a good level of participation and folks coming in from the street. Is that the right word? The street? And everybody seems to be having a really good time. Anthony and I are here today teaching people how to tie flies. We've had, a half a dozen people through here.
Yeah, a couple of youngsters tied their first fly successfully.
A couple of oldsters tried to tie a first fly, not quite so successfully. But like everything else, it takes years and years of practice to get really good. That's why I'm better than he is, because I'm old and he's not.
Yeah, but he's better looking.
He's just done it
That's
for a
true.
long
He is
time.
better looking than I am, but that's because he's a young guy. You know, I mean, I used to be a great looking guy.
Yeah, but you still are. Don't shortchange yourself.
That's the best proposition I've had all day. Anyway, Anthony and I are artists, and we both like fish, and we paint flies and fish. I think you should show them that picture again. Anthony's done the promotional art for our 3 tie one-ons, and I have a high degree of respect for his work because he can do something that I can't do, which is work with markers.
Not only markers, but this is watercolor, colored pencil, regular pencil, and art marker. Yes, they're fun to do. This particular fly here, I believe it's a zoo cougar.
Yep.
And this was a takeoff of Kelly Gallup's fly, and he is one of our premier speakers today, coming in from Montana, and his home waters is the Madison River. And right now he's actually speaking about streamer fishing over in the Diamond Room today. And there's quite a few people there listening to what he has to say about streamer fishing.
Of which I am an extreme devotee myself.
Well, that's just because you don't know how to throw a dry fly.
We are having this conversation. Edit that out, please. We are having this conversation because when your brother and I were at Fulton one day years ago, you remember that? I was with McGrath, and I had my streamer wallet there, and James he just about tipped over. He said, "Oh my God!" He said, "You got to meet my brother." So.
Yeah,
here we are.
The rest is history.
The rest is history.
I don't know whether to curse or bless that day. Because he's got me so addicted to his flies and his artwork.
This is a great event, though. There's a lot of people here, a lot of like-minded folks, a lot of gentlemen, a lot of really good camaraderie going on, a lot of sharing of ideas of a sport that we're very passionate about, fly fishing, fly tying. Although some of these flies you could use with a spinner outfit if you wish.